most stacked divisions in the UFC, Khabib Nurmagomedov may be the most dangerous lightweight of them all. I sat down with the undefeated star to talk about growing up in Dagestan, training at AKA, the 155-pound division, and that long-awaited fight against Tony Furgeson at UFC 223. I'm so curious about what you were like as a child, what life was like in Dagestan for you growing up, and how that's really affected and impacted the person you've become today.
This is everything for me because I grew up from Dagestan, like a little bit hard life, and with my father discipline, because my father have a little bit different than other coaches discipline, and you have to follow this. If you don't follow this, you're gonna be like, you're gonna trouble, you know. How I training, how I learn in school, in college, and always my father protect me when I was kid, when I was child, like from fighting. He put me on wrestling, grappling, like judo, sambo, and now when I looking back, now I understand how my father like smart about this, how he protect me, how he watch on my career like in future, and you know, I wanna say thanks for my father.
How old were you when you knew you wanted to fight?
I began to compete in combat sambo like 16 years.
Wow.
But when I compete in combat sambo, but I never do like sparrings. I always wrestling, grappling, like make sambo, judo, like everything, but I don't spar because my father say you don't need spar. You don't need spar. I do all drills, but I don't spar. My first like 5-6 fight in professionals, when I preparing for these fights, I never spar. I don't spar, and I'm just wrestling, like do all stuff, but no sparring. About like training, like all my life. When I think I beginning training like 4 years old, like 5 years old. I'm all my life inside the gym. My father challenged myself all my life. Now I understand. He wanna make myself like tougher than other guys. And when I watch like how I grew up, how I you know, like all my legacy, like I think everything is my father do this.
You've got a daughter who's almost 3?
Yes, almost 3.
What if she says to you, Dad, I want to fight?
I don't think she's gonna fight. I don't think, because we have different culture, you know, like different mental, like everything. She don't gonna fight, but I'm gonna teach her like discipline, like my father teach me. Like give everything what I can, and for make her life like much easier than my life.
I have a feeling she's wrapped around your little finger. Like you will do anything for her.
Maybe, but I have to teach her for become her like good personality, like everything. But I follow my father discipline. I have to follow because my father watch how I with everybody, because we're living together. I living with my father, with my mother.
What about your son? He was born the day of your fight. So first off, how did you even balance that? I can't even imagine the stress you must have been under.
I remember I sleeping, and my uncle come, and like 2 o'clock night, he say, hey, you have son, you know, like. And I remember 20 years ago when my uncle have son, I go his home, I tell him, hey, you have son, because somebody call my father, I hear, okay, yeah, my uncle have son, and I running for going to his house and tell him, hey, you have son. And we have like culture, if somebody tell you good news, they have to give you money.
Oh, yeah, they give you money?
Yeah, and and he give me money like a little bit. Now, when I was sleeping, my father, my uncles come, because he with me in Vegas. I cannot sleep, like, you know, thinking about like everything, and I cannot sleep like 2 hours, and after I sleep a little bit good, wake up, training, go sleep, wake up a little bit, eat, go sleep, like this, like before 4 p.m. After we move to arena. But all the time I'm thinking about this. Oh, now I have son, now I have son, you know, like it was like, for me it's a little bit hard, but when I go to the cage, this one is like motivating like crazy. because I'm thinking about now I don't have like only daughter, now I have son. I become second time father now, you know, it's changed a lot of things on my mind.
What kind of dad are you compared to the type of dad you grew up with?
I'm a little bit different, but I try to follow his discipline, like with my kids, with my small brothers, with everybody, but I'm not like father. Father a little bit different.
There you go, Khabib.
Nice, do it again.
Your family's over there in Dagestan. That is where you live most of the time. But you do your training camps at AKA. How did you get to AKA? How did you decide that was the right place to go?
With me comes my brothers, my very good friends, like 5-6 people. And already in AKA we have a lot of fighters like jiu-jitsu guys, like striking guys, MMA guys, like Javier is here. You know, Javier is taking care of me, like he all day with me. You know, we train all day. Like we come 12 p.m. we train together. I come 6 p.m. we train together. Always talk about fight, talk about like everything. Talk about skills, what we have to do. Train, go home, eat, sleep, repeat. We do like this, like you know, like train like champion, eat like champion, sleep like champion, like everything. And I'm focused. This is most important because in Dagestan a little bit hard for me now because too many things, too many people, you know, like crazy, famous. I cannot do nothing. And when I always go to the gym, like too many people come to the gym. For this camp, we're gonna work with father 4 weeks, and we're gonna move to, before fight, 6 weeks to AKA.
Look at Khabib, he's no good teammate. Look, he's trying to break my leg.
I'm not old like these guys. 1-0, bro. 1-0.
Why do you have to learn this language? They need to learn Russian language like me. Da, niet. I know.
It seems like you're quite good friends with Daniel Cormier.
Yeah.
You guys pretty tight?
Yeah, we very tight, like not only with Cormier, with Kane, with Luke, with all you guys who are training in AKA, with everybody. We're like small family. We don't have like a lot of fighters from AKA. We have like 20-25 fighters and everybody is very close to each other.
You are there for each other through both the great times and those more challenging times. You obviously won a huge fight against Edson Barboza at UFC 219, but before that, it was a little bit of an up and down road, you know? You've had a health scare, you've had opponents pull out on you due to injury, you've had to be forced off of cards due to injury. How would you say those like past 2 years really went for you?
It was like a little bit hard time for me because like injuries come, but for me, like when I go to the cage, everything is done. I know, like, I have fight, I have to make weight, going to the cage and smash my opponents. And I think about this like last 6 months before the fight. And April I have surgery, come back, August a little bit, beginning training light. September I beginning hard training, September, October, November, December, 4 months I think about this. Hey, I have to make weight, come back. This is like, this is push me, this one is push me, this one is motivate me. Like these situations like sometimes like broke people, but this one is no work with me. I am like different guy, my mentality is like different, and I think, okay, I'm gonna stay focused, I'm gonna stay relaxed, and we're gonna come back and we'll see what happens. They talk about Edson Barboza, okay, we're gonna kill him on stand-up. And this is not my and my coach's plan, but I work very hard and I listen to my coaches. But if you remember when we talk about like fight week, I told you like I don't wanna finish this fight because I wanna stay inside the cage 15 minutes. I wanna smash him like 15 minutes. Why? Because I want to feel cage, I want to stay inside the cage a little bit more time, because like if you stay with opponents like couple minutes and you stay with opponents 15 minutes, it's like different. Every minute is experience. Everything is about experience in this game. When you have experience, you can stay relaxed. I think when I watch fights, I think I can finish him, but I'm very happy about 15 minutes.